to find a partner.
Who says you have to? You are creating an expectation and an assumption that may or may not be relevant. But all this means is you don't understand how reality works. And you are focused on the idea of time instead of timing. Because when you allow reality to work for you, instead of trying to make it work in the way that your physical mind thinks it's supposed to, even though it doesn't have a clue what is actually best for you, but you have let it think that it does, and let the physical mind run your life by focusing you on time and where's that person? Tick tock, I'm running out of time. Why is it taking so long? Because you're waiting for it. That's why. Because waiting is a state unto itself. And the only experience you can have in a state of waiting is waiting. It's not having, it's waiting. Waiting, 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 waiting. So the idea is to trust that passion contains certain automatic functions or tools. And one of those tools is the organizing principle of synchronicity, which means that as you follow your passion, everything that is relevant for you to experience in your life unfolds in perfect timing. And the only way to actually miss an agreement or an appointment that you have made with anyone or anything is to actually spend your time and energy wondering if you're going to miss the appointment. That's the paradox. If you just get on with your life, follow your passion, act on it, and trust that synchronicity is bringing you what you need to let you experience the process that will shape you in the way you need to be shaped in order to better appreciate what it is that will manifest in your life, then it doesn't matter what's going on, because what's going on right now will always be the most important thing, and there is nowhere else more important to be. And nothing else more important to be going on than what's going on right now. So then you're not waiting for anything. You are experiencing everything in the moment as absolutely what it needs to be for you. Even if it's something you don't objectively prefer, there must be a reason for it to be there. And if you use it in a way you do prefer, you will always extract the beneficial effect from that moment. It's only when you think something doesn't belong or shouldn't be there that you actually make it take longer, because you are invalidating what it is that's come to you that actually is what you need. Even though your physical mind says, no, 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 I don't need that. If it's there, yes, you do. Because there are no accidents. Everything is in orchestration. So even if it's what you don't prefer, there must be a reason that you do prefer for that to have shown up. If nothing else, it can even be as simple as something you don't prefer shows up to make it clearer to you what you do prefer by contrast. That's using what you don't prefer in a way that you do. And then it can go on its way because you've used up the reason it showed up. But when you deny it validity, you are invalidating a moment in your life, and you have removed a stepping stone, and now you have no way to step on that stone to get to the next one and the next and the next.
I would like to meet a soulmate. I enjoyed a book called How to Meet Your Soulmate. And
yes.
In that book it said...
I know what it said, you don't have to tell me.
My question is, would I be able to meet my soulmate in this lifetime?
No. Do you believe me?
No.
Why don't you believe me?
Because it doesn't feel like I won't be able to meet this person from now on.
It doesn't feel like it? You are saying that you trust your feelings? Yes? No?
I don't know.
Oh, one moment. Let's back up. Let's start over. You asked me, will I meet my soulmate in this life? I said no. Then I asked if you believed me, and you said, no, I don't believe you. And I said, why not? And you said, because I feel like I will meet my soulmate. So doesn't that mean you are trusting your feelings?
More or less, yes.
More or less? Well, which is it, more or less?
I would like to believe.
Oh, you would like to believe. Oh. Why? What does it mean if you believe that you will meet your soulmate in this life? Now, don't answer yet. I'm going to give you something to think about while you're thinking about it. Can you think about two things at the same time? Will that be all right?
I'll do that, yes.
Oh, all right, thank you. Soulmate is anyone you are interacting with at any given moment. Because right at that moment that you are interacting with them, they are the most important person in your life. But I understand what you mean by the other definition of soulmate. But what I am telling you now is, it is easier to attract the kind of soulmate you are talking about when you do not focus so much on needing that kind of soulmate and recognize everyone as a soulmate. When you recognize every person in your life at that moment is the most important person and therefore your soulmate at that moment, then you are validating and acknowledging that your life is already working just perfectly because it's bringing you everyone that needs to be brought to you automatically without you having to try to find them. When you understand that your life is already working perfectly by bringing you everyone you need, you can trust that it will continue to bring you everyone you need, and if that soulmate you're talking about needs to be in your life, then that soulmate will be in your life at some point automatically, just like everyone else, because your life already works. You do not have to search for your soulmate. Soulmate, soulmate, where are you? Because if you know your life works automatically, then you know everything will come to you as it needs to in the best way for you. But pay attention to this. If you are afraid, if you are in fear that you will never find your soulmate, then the fear is not allowing you to be your true natural self. And if you are not being your true natural self, how is your soulmate going to recognize you? You understand what I mean? So if you relax and just be yourself and trust that your life is working, then you will be your true self, and everyone that resonates, that vibrates to your true self will automatically come into your life exactly perfectly when they need to, and you don't have to wonder when they're going to get there because you're too busy interacting with who's with you now. Does that explanation work for you?
Yes.
Does that help clarify the idea of soulmate somewhat for you? I understand. Did you understand what I already said? Right now, this moment, right now, I am your soulmate because you're interacting with me. You are my soulmate because you are interacting with me. Do you understand? This is real. It isn't just a word. We are soulmates right now. Right now, we are one soul. We are different aspects of one soul reflecting to each other. Right now, by being in this relationship, we are in love. The next person that comes into your life, the next person that you talk to will be your soulmate, and you will be in love with them. And the person after that, and the person after that, and the person after that. The one who will then find that it is appropriate to express that relationship to you romantically will come along when they need to, but you don't need to focus on it, as we already said. If you insist that it must happen a certain way at a certain time, then you're not trusting your life, which means you're not being your true self, and it means you're actually keeping that kind of a soulmate interaction away from you. First, you must be in love with yourself. When you are in love with yourself and allow yourself then to be your true self, everyone that needs to be in your life will be in your life exactly, perfectly when they need to be. The timing is already perfect. Trust it. Treat everyone that you interact with as your soulmate, and before you know it, you'll find that you will be in a relationship with that particular kind of soulmate you're asking for. But the longer you exclude everyone else and insist only on that one person, the longer it will take for that person to find you. If you know they will show up in perfect timing, then you don't have to wonder what time it is and where are they. You understand?
Is there such thing as soulmates?
Let us begin with the second. Is there such a thing as soulmates? Yes and no. No, in the sense that it isn't always what you think it is, in the way that many of you define that idea, and yes, in that sometimes it is, but it is also many other things. In other words, it is, in some circumstances, true that different individuals have created for themselves a particular vibrational match in the idea of another soul. Sometimes that is actually even a split off of the same oversoul. Doesn't always have to be, but it can be. But the idea of a soulmate in that context is still, vibrationally speaking, that soul that will, for whatever time period, best reflect to the other person in the relationship whatever it is that person needs to know about themselves to become the fullest representation of their being that they possibly can, and that person reflects the same back to the other. Thus, in that context, while it may be possible to set up very specific interactions and relationships in life that are representative of what you classically call a soulmate energy, you can also understand that from the definition we have given you, anyone that you interact with at any given moment is a type of soulmate, because they're the person that needs to be in your life at that moment. They're the person standing in front of you at that moment, reflecting to you at that moment the things you need to know at that moment to be your fullest self, if you use it that way. So in a sense, a soulmate can even be someone that you may call, quote unquote, an enemy, because they may be putting you in a position of having to look at certain things within yourself, face certain things, examine certain things within yourself that actually ultimately serves you in the best possible positive way. It's up to you to use every relationship in a soulmate fashion in order to extract from it all of the energy and information that will actually truly serve you to become your fullest self, and simultaneously reflect back to the other all the things that will allow them also, all the opportunities that will allow them also to choose to be their fullest self. And when you use relationships for that purpose, in that way, as reflections to allow, to support all others in the relationship, to give them the best possible example and the best possible opportunity to become their fullest self without condition of what that may mean, then you are functioning in that relationship, to answer your first question, in the most mature way.
I feel like I haven't been able to attract. I feel like I want to be. I want to experience a relationship and experience a family.
You have no relationships of any kind in your life?
I had, but nothing that...
You had? So you know no one. You have no friends, no family.
No, I'm sorry. I meant in a romantic relationship as someone to share my life with.
Oh, all right. But you are sharing your life with many people.
As in a,
I think you're missing my point. Why are you calling that out as different than anything else? Why are you making that stand out and making it seem so different to achieve other than the relationships you already have created?
Maybe because I have a specific definition of that relationship that is different from, say, friendship or...
All right. I'm not saying that there aren't relationships that are different in that context, but nevertheless, I'm asking, why are you making it stand out as being so different than attracting any kind of relationship? It might be that your definition is making it more difficult to attract because you're creating it to be such a rarefied thing.
I believe that's correct.
You're putting it on a pedestal.
Yes.
Well, hard to reach, isn't it? When it's on a pedestal. If you bring it down to earth, like any relationship, I'm not devaluing it, not invalidating it, but if you allow it to be like any relationship, generally speaking, then whatever unique aspects that relationship has for you will be easier to access. But you can't put it on a pedestal and expect to reach it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is very similar to the idea of having a particular assumption, insistence, or expectation for how something should play out. And as we have already said, the formula for following your excitement is to drop all of that assumption and insistence and expectation for what the outcome ought to be, or how it should look, or in what form it should come. So putting things on a pedestal is very similar to that expectation.
And I'm noticing that I'm not only putting it on a pedestal, but I'm also becoming very picky. as time goes, which
Yes.
you would think, I would think it would be the opposite, but so I have like this the really strong.
Do you not trust your life to bring you what you truly need? Do you have to engineer every detail to make sure it's right? Because becoming more picky, as you say, is the surest way to get reflections of others who are going to be just as picky about you. Remember, physical reality is a mirror. And if you become too picky, not saying you can't have preferences, but if you become judgmentally picky, then what you're going to get is a reflection of people who are also going to be picky about whether or not they want to interact with you, because that's what you're giving off. Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping you relax some of your need to engineer this? And is it increasing your ability to trust that your life will unfold as it needs to, a little bit more naturally?
Yes, and to some extent, when I ask myself, okay, if this never happens,
Yes.
will I still lead a happy and fulfilled
That's
life?
an excellent question to ask yourself. Asking that question is the right track.
And my answer to myself is yes, but I'm not sure if that's kind of like a mind kind of like type of answer, or
No.
that's what I truly believe.
Allow yourself to believe it if you wish. You don't have to. But if you allow yourself to believe that you will still be truly happy, even if that relationship never occurs, then you'll be truly happy. And when you are truly happy, you make it far more likely that such a relationship will occur. That's the paradox. Because you don't need it in that context, in the sense of neediness, in the sense of desperation. So when you're happy because you're happy, then all the things that are capable of entering your life to reflect the happiness that you choose to have, regardless of whether they show up or not, will be more capable of showing up. Remember, manifestation is not the product of bringing something to you that you don't have. Manifestation is the product of making visible what you already have, but simply don't see it because you're not in the same wavelength. If the idea of that joyful relationship is representative of happiness, then be happy regardless of whether the relationship is there, so at least you give the relationship a greater probability of showing up to reflect the happiness that you already have, because you don't need the relationship to make you happy. Because anyone that you interact with that is there to reflect to you what you need to know to become more of yourself as you do the same for them at that moment is a twin flame and soulmate. Doesn't mean they have to stick around. It means they might. But you don't have to know that in the moment. Just see where it goes, be unconditionally supportive and loving, enjoy the moment, and don't make assumptions about why you think it's there, other than knowing that all relationships are there for the purpose of doing what we just said, reflecting to each other in the relationship what you need to know to become more of yourself. Does this help?
Yes, I've seen that my interactions with social media, now known as AI, has seemed to help some people put aside their old belief systems,
Yes.
healings of past, allowing them to get more into alignment of bringing in their future selves.
All right.
Since
Each of you are here to help the other, to reflect to the other in that way. So in that ultimate sense, you're all twin flames.
Agreed.
Everybody. But we understand you can make an agreement for a particular arrangement sometimes, with a particular identity or individual sometimes that may be more vibrationally compatible with the theme that you're exploring. And that's fine, and you might call that a twin flame and a soulmate, and that's fine. But these are all labels that simply allow you to understand that there may have been a specific agreement or arrangement, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know all the details of what that agreement or arrangement are about. So all you have to do is just play it out and see where it goes. and not create insistences or assumptions on what it's supposed to be, or how long it's supposed to last, or how it's supposed to look, because you really won't know that until the end of your life.
There's something you said a little earlier about giving the gift of walking away.
Yes. Sometimes that can be the most loving thing to do, because you're demonstrating to someone else that their choices may not be vibrationally compatible with yours. Therefore, you give them an opportunity to change, or you give them an opportunity to stay the same. And if they choose to stay the same, you give them an opportunity to go off and find someone that they believe might be more vibrationally compatible with the path that they happen to be on. And you will then allow yourself to align more with a path that you are more vibrationally compatible with, and allow other people to come into your life that will also be of a similar wavelength.